Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to another From the Depths engine tutorial. So we're gonna be going piece by piece, no rush, through engines and From the Depths. Starting with from easiest to most complicated, which conveniently allows me to put off steam engines until the very end, because I find them very complicated. But today, before we start on fuel engines, I just wanted to cover RTG engines and RTG Power in what is hopefully just a short little video. So this is by far the easiest kind of engine to make, or power source to be more specific and more accurate. It's the easiest, and it is also, in the vast majority of ways, the worst kind of power source in From the Depths. For a number of reasons. But firstly, I'll say what you need to do to make one. It's very simple. Just in the Resources tab, you need an electric engine, at least one battery, and place an RTG, and there you go. That's it. Very, very simple. You don't have to worry about exhausts or, you know, exhaust or cooling like you need to do with fuel engines. You don't need to worry about maintaining steam pressure like with steam engines. You don't need to worry about like air clearance like you need to do with custom jets. Very, very simple, but terrible, and here's why. There is a 1-to-1 ratio for the power generated, for the energy generated by the RTG, the radioisotope thermoelectric generator. So basically, this one RTG generates 30 engine power. So you'll notice down on the bottom right, we've got 90 thanks to this one battery. So actually, 3 of these 2-meter-long RTGs is what's needed to make full use of this engine. And RTGs, first off, are very expensive. This one little 2-meter beam here is 375 materials, and that's already the cost of a small fuel engine that would give a lot more power, even though it burns materials while doing it. So RTGs are horribly material inefficient, and they're also horribly volume inefficient, because again, for the same volume as this, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 cubic meters of space, you could actually fit a more powerful fuel engine or steam engine in for that exact amount of volume. So material-wise and volume-wise, they are pretty darn terrible, and they take a long time to pay for themselves, because since the RTGs, they don't consume any materials in order to generate energy, they are free to run. You can just leave them and forget about them, and they will endlessly generate electricity. They don't need material storage or fuel or anything like that. That is their major advantage. So yeah, these things are generally best for, like, there's not really much to show you here, really. Like, this is it. Basically, if you want to make it bigger, you just add more batteries, more batteries, and if you want to, you know, have more power, you add more RTGs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be 600 power, what we're capable of. And so I could remove most of these batteries, and let's get this to about 600 and 630. That'll do. And over here on my sensor scrambler, is it ECM? You'll see right here that it's nice and stable. The battery power is not going down, but the split second I make it go a little bit higher than that, you'll see that the battery charge is ticking down a little bit. So 600 power is as much as we're going to get from this very, very expensive setup. So 750 bucks for a 4-meter RTG is very expensive. So when on earth do you want to use these things, considering that they are, in many, many ways, pretty terrible? Well, they're great for things that do not require much energy. So if we just remove all of this and just remove most of this, so 1, 2, 3, and we're back down to 90 power. I'll just set this to 89 quickly, and you'll see that we're being nice and stable, and 90 power. And we'll get 90 power forever from this thing, pretty much, and we won't have to worry about a thing. So generally, RTGs are fantastic for things that are not combat craft. So a number of reasons for that. Combat craft tend to require lots of power. They need to be able to move reasonably fast. They tend to have things, well, ECM jammers for one thing, but also lambs and shields and, you know, just control surfaces that may or may not require power. And anything that requires a lot of power should probably not have RTGs on it because, as aforementioned, these are horribly inefficient volume and material-wise. You're better off with fuel engines or steam engines or custom jets. But these things are great for small craft that require very little energy and you do just want to take them along forever. So that generally means non-combat support craft. And the ones that I use that tend to use RTGs tend to be either spy satellites or spy planes or resource gatherers, because a resource gatherer that requires material in order to function is like, it's fine because material gatherers will gather things for free until there's a certain amount stored, and after that they will require power and material in order to function. But still, it is quite it can save you a fair amount of materials if your resource gatherers don't require anything at all. So I am going to show you one such example, and I will see you in the regular designer with the resource zone that's in it. Alrighty, so here we are in the regular designer, and with a craft that is, I feel, a decent example of what an RTG-powered craft should look like, or rather a practical and useful RTG craft if we're talking playing the campaigns. So, like, there's very much, like, firstly, this thing requires very little power. All the Daddy Blades you see on it, including this main altitude controlling one, this thing has PIDs mounted as the mounted just above the AI. This thing is not winning any beauty contests, but it works. All these Daddy Blades, and I'll just show you right now, none of them require any power, so they've all got zero motor drive, because this thing does not need to be particularly fast. It's very light, so it doesn't need a powered main rotor, and it really only needs power at all to power this material gatherer, this single one. So material gatherers, by a wonderful coincidence, use 30 power, which is exactly the same amount of power that is generated by a single 2-meter RTG. So that's right there, and then we have our electric engine over there, one battery, only need the one, AI, PIDs, main altitude, and we've got some, the body is actually made entirely out of material containers, so there's as little material wasted as possible on needless structure, and also so it can carry about 20,000 materials. So this is not an end game harvester, I should say. The reason you'd ever want to build something like this, and the reason that such a small RTG setup like this is viable, is because in the early game, particularly if you want to expand quickly, you can sit on your butt for a while and try and get a big harvester with lots of storage and lots of material gatherers, or you could just spam small ones, which actually helps accelerate your resource gathering. So yeah, I'll just move this guy right into this material zone right here. So it doesn't move incredibly quickly. It's got that double turboprop Daddy Blade in the back there, and that just makes it scuttle along at 20 meters per second, which as far as I'm concerned is the minimum you need. And I just realized that this thing is full of material already, and that is no good. But anyway, so that's basically it for RTG engines. Just a quick example of like how to build them. They're incredibly simple. You just need as much RTGs as the power you want. You need enough batteries to hold that, which means in practice you need more RTGs than batteries. And this is the kind of thing that you'd build with them. Something that does not get shot at, because another reason I forgot to mention is that RTGs are very expensive. So you kind of don't want anything that has RTGs getting blown up, because they're a real pain in the butt to rebuild and repair. So yeah, RTGs, very niche use, but very easy. Don't rely on them too much. That's where other engines come into play. So, that's basically it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon and YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths engine tutorials. Yes, there will be more of these. Farewell.